They called it one of the most heartwarming holiday movies of all time. They told us it was a celebration of compassion, family, and second chances. But what if everything we believed about A Dog Named Christmas was a lie? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we bring you a story that will shock you, anger you, and maybe even break your heart. Because the movie that taught us about kindness might have been made through cruelty. Let's go back to 2009. Hallmark was preparing for its annual Christmas lineup, and A Dog Named Christmas was selected to be the emotional centerpiece. With a touching story about a developmentally challenged young man who fights to give a shelter dog a home for the holidays, audiences were expected to fall in love, and they did. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart. Multiple former crew members have now come forward, anonymously, revealing disturbing details about the treatment of the dog who played Christmas. According to leaked call sheets and unverified testimony, the production used 3 different dogs for the role. One of them, a golden retriever mix named Benny, was reportedly subjected to extreme stress during long and repetitive filming sessions. Sources allege that Benny was often kept in a confined trailer with minimal ventilation during summer shoots. Yes, summer. Despite the film's wintry setting, much of the movie was filmed in late July under blistering heat. One unnamed assistant said, "They kept pushing the dog to perform over and over. He wasn't eating. He was panting constantly. But they wanted that perfect shot of him looking sad and loyal." I don't think the audience realized they were watching a dog break down on camera. Animal welfare groups were supposedly called to the set twice, but both times were turned away after brief visits. One whistleblower claims that a donation to a local shelter was made by the production to keep things quiet. Bruce Greenwood, the veteran actor who portrayed the father in the film, is said to have been deeply disturbed by what he saw happening to the animals. In one alleged incident, Bruce witnessed the dog being yelled at and yanked roughly by its handler after a scene had to be reshot 5 times. An insider who worked closely with the cast said, "Bruce lost it. He shouted at the director saying, 'This is supposed to be a film about kindness, and look at what you're doing.' It caused a huge delay in filming. Some say Bruce even threatened to quit unless conditions changed." Bruce Greenwood has never publicly commented on this event, but in a 2011 interview, he hinted at tensions on the set, saying, "Sometimes the reality behind the lens isn't as pretty as the story in front of it." One of the more shocking claims involves a sudden overnight rewrite of the final scenes, reportedly after executives feared the original ending would trigger controversy. The original script, as leaked by a former intern, ended with the shelter being shut down due to funding cuts, with Christmas almost being euthanized. It was meant to reflect the real-life consequences of abandoned pets. But Hallmark allegedly intervened at the last moment, replacing it with a happier, cleaner ending to ensure the movie would sell better internationally. The screenwriter reportedly protested but was overruled. One producer, who spoke off the record, said, "We were told to rewrite reality. To make the audience cry, but not think." Now here's where things get even darker. Every cast and crew member, including interns, were allegedly required to sign strict non-disclosure agreements that prevented them from speaking about anything non-promotional regarding the film. These NDAs included steep financial penalties. Some sources say the contracts were unusually restrictive, even by Hollywood standards. A former production assistant recently said, "It was like we were in a cult. We weren't allowed to say anything, even years later, but people are talking now, because it's time." For a network that prides itself on spreading joy and moral messages, these revelations, if true, could shatter public trust. Hallmark has not responded to the renewed allegations, but fans are demanding answers. A viral hashtag #JusticeForChristmas, is now trending on fan forums and social media, as animal rights activists push for Hallmark to release a statement and investigate the production. So, what do we do with this information? Do we ignore it and keep watching our feel-good films every December? Or do we start asking questions about how these perfect stories are made? Because sometimes behind the lights, the cameras, and the Christmas cheer lies a story no one wants to tell. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay aware, and remember, every movie has two stories, the one they show you and the one they hide.